Welcome to ARA Unscripted, Episode 9. And in this episode, I'm joined by Scott Robertson. Scott was one of the first people I met when joining ARA. At that time, he was a member of the executive committee for ARA and on his way to becoming president. Scott is a longtime automotive recycler, past president of ARA. He's the current president of the Automotive Recyclers of Massachusetts and someone who's spent his entire life in the industry. Scott and I recorded this episode in the historic library in Massachusetts, and it turned into a wide-ranging, candid discussion about family-run businesses, leadership, the evolution of the automotive recycling industry, and where our industry is headed next. We talk about how recyclers are adapting to changing economics and technology, the role AI may play in the future of our businesses, and why collaboration and recognition for what we do has never been more important. This is part industry insight, part personal history, and part honest reflection from someone who's lived it. I think you'll really enjoy this conversation, so let's get to it. This episode is brought to you by Axe Payments, a company that's changing the way credit card processing works for the auto recycling industry. Axe Payments offers a transparent, no-fee, no-contract approach with free equipment and technology built specifically to help recyclers grow. No long-term contracts. You stay because it works. Axe Payments Vice President of Automotive, Ron Matthews, has spent his entire adult life in auto recycling. He grew up in the industry. He understands the real challenges recyclers face, from processing costs to fraud and chargebacks, and he helped create solutions that protect your hard-earned money. Ron isn't just serving the industry, he's part of it. Axe Payments actively supports auto recyclers nationwide through trade shows and sponsorships and has become a trusted name in the community. Ron is available 7 days a week. Call or text him at 401-640-3015 and start keeping the money you've been giving away. All right. So we're going. That was a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. Well, thank you so much for coming. Sounds like we have an echo, but I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do about that. We are sitting in Quisette House. Is that what it's called?
I guess so. We're in
Ames?
just outside of Brockton and
Massachusetts?
Northeastern, Easton.
Easton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Easton.
Easton. And the Ames family, they're a very wealthy family. They had something to do with the shovel.
Yeah.
This area is named Shovel Town, and there's a great brewery here.
That's a nickname.
Yeah, it's a nickname. Yeah.
And this is, so I found this place. I was just looking for a spot to do a podcast. This might be the most interesting looking place, just the look and feel of it. We're in a very old home. Maybe it was the Ames home. Who knows? But sitting out front is the library, the Ames Library. And I just was researching places and found this place. And apparently you can reserve a room and do things. And so here we are recording a podcast. And so that's probably, we have really tall ceilings. And it's probably why we're going to just have to deal with this echo. But
yeah, it is what it is. Old bones, you get books on the... it's like an old library, and there's a bust of a guy over there. It must be in Ames. And yeah.
Do you have a bust of Scott in your house?
Yeah, absolutely, with my shirt off, naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that iconic Putin on horseback.
On a horse, yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what you need. Yeah. Well, cool. Again, thank you for doing this. I'm sure everybody knows who you are. You're past president of ARA. You are past or current president of ARM?
Current
president
of ARM,
of the Automotive Recyclers of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You serve on the board of directors of ARA. You serve on the board of ARTI, which is the Automotive Recycling Training Institute, which is ARA's 501c3 for developing training. And in your spare time, you're the owner of Robertson's Auto Salvage.
That is correct. Yeah. And I wear an awful lot of hats there as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You're one of the only people I know that when we do, and you've always been like this, when we do video calls, your desk is literally, when you walk into the front door, there's the sales counter to the right, and your desk is right to the left.
That's right.
Yeah.
Been there my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have 3 desks at work. I have a desk way in the back, which we've done some recordings and stuff in.
Yeah.
I used to take my when I was president on the EC, I used to take my calls back there because it was a little bit more private. And I have a desk in the main office where all the clerical stuff is done to pay the bills and review some stuff.
But you spend most of your time.
90% of my time is on the floor.
Right out there on the floor.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know a lot of owner operators that do that. Why did you? Clearly, you have a choice, and clearly that is your choice.
We've all done it like that. My uncle, my father, we've always been right out front and center. My uncle ran the GMC truck dealership, and he would meet every single person that came in to buy a vehicle. And if he bought a vehicle, and he'd give people hugs, and
What was his name? I forgot his
Howie.
name. Howie.
Howie.
Yeah. We got to meet Howie and your dad Scott when we did Total Treasure up there, and great man. Really, really enjoyed meeting him. Howie by far is the storyteller.
He can tell an awful lot of stories. Yes, he is a very interesting past. Yeah.
But it sounds like it's just in your family business DNA to be out front.
That's correct.
Yeah.
We've never had back offices, and Howie's office was right out front. Matter of fact, when we first bought the GMC truck dealership, Howie is selling new GMC trucks off the counter right next to
the parts counter.
Parts counter
next to. Wow.
Off the parts counter, right next to the guy that was selling a taillight.
Let's talk about that because that's pretty unique. So you guys currently still sit on one footprint. You have a franchise dealership and a recycled auto parts store. If you say the J word, I'm telling you, I'm coming across the table.
That's how we roll in Massachusetts. It is the J word.
I know.
Yeah. But that is correct. Yeah. It's on the shared facility under the same roof. And when we were remodeling the dealership about 5, 6, 7 years ago, Howie moved his desk back right over near my desk, and he was conducting business and selling vehicles right next to me.
At what point did GM get involved and kind of mandate that you? Were they the ones that mandated you make some changes? And there had to be.
Yeah, they did. When we did a big facelift, they told us that we used to have a pass door which connected both buildings, and they said that we had to wall that off so that you had to go outside to enter the GMC truck dealership because before it was freely walking. You could walk in between the two of them.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
About 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not as long as I thought.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That must have been a year or two before I met you, or right around the time I met you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I met you. It was about that long ago.
Yeah.
And so, is there much overlap? I mean, I don't imagine there's a lot of opportunity for Robertsons to. Do they ever call you up and need a part?
They generally use brand new parts.
Sure.
When you're a dealer, General Motors wants you to buy their product. If it's a used truck or the used vehicle that they're fixing, sometimes they'll source parts from us.
Oh, okay.
I'll buy a lot of their trades.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a full service.
Yeah.
And then you have you resell.
Yep. Yeah. And we just started a U-Pole that Nate's starting and working.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you say Nate?
Yeah.
Your son?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's back in the fold. He's there,
good.
and he is running the U-Pole.
Is it on the same property?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where is it? Like behind the scale house?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. On the right-hand side.
Yeah. So now you've got a legit hybrid, right?
That's right.
Full serve, self-serve.
Yeah.
And then you have, you still have the used car. You still do? Do you do
No, I backed off of the used cars. I did a lot of used cars during COVID and right after COVID, and then that market crashed. So,
Okay.
I mean, during business, we've always been opportunistic,
Yeah.
and seen stuff coming. And been able to jump on the bandwagon, make money, but you have to know when to, hop off, and you have to know when to fish and when to cut bait, and, and when to go home.
Or as like Kenny Rogers would say.
Yeah, you have to know when to fold them. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. I it's a rabbit trail, but Kenny Rogers passed away in April of 2020. And I remember seeing a tweet that said, talk about the most legendary know when to fold 'em move ever.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers leaves when COVID started. And he's like, I'm out.
That's right.
Got out of that. But
Yeah.
You guys had there's a auto body shop. Are you still have an interest in that?
My manager who we sold it to, he still owes me money for it.
That's an interest.
Yeah.
All right. So you held a note, but is it Robertson's
Yes.
Auto Body?
Yes,
It's right
it
down
is.
the road.
It's
isn't it?
right down the road. Yeah. And when I came out of college, I went down there and ran the body shop for a number of years before we sold it to our manager.
So did you work in the family business before you went to college?
Yeah.
And then you just took that. But did you work in any other business?
No, I tried. I tried getting a job at the J word in New York
Go ahead,
City.
say it. I'm interviewing you. You say what you want.
Yeah, in New York City, and we had built a yard management system with them back in the early '80s. One of the first in the country. We hired a programmer with them, and they built a yard management system. We've been computerized since like 1981.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went to school in New York City, and their salvage yard was in the South Bronx. Bulletproof glass, got everybody wore a gun.
Is it still around?
They sold to LKQ.
Okay.
A while ago. And I went down there, and I knew the owner. I went down there and said, Joe, I want a job. I'm bored stiff. I'm a freshman at Fordham. And he's like, yeah. See me next week. So next week, a week, right on time. I went down there, and he was like, yeah. See me next week. So I went down there again, and finally called my father, and he said, I can't hire your son. You just tell him I can't hire him. He knows way too much about the computer system. Yeah.
Well, how'd you overcome that? Did you get in there?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you went. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. He would not hire me. They had a lot of connections.
Yeah.
To get to those guys, you had to go through 4, 5, 6 checkpoints. Their office was way down in the cellar. No windows. And they said, no. He's not going to come work here.
When you say South Bronx and you say connections, I wasn't sure what you.
Yeah. Now. So I started buying cars for my father in New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania.
While you were in college?
While I was in college, yeah.
You had to go to the auction.
I went to the auction because
my brain immediately thought, oh yeah, and then I was like, wait, no, you can't do that on a computer.
No.
You were going.
physically had to go there.
How'd you manage that with a college schedule?
No cell phones.
Yeah.
You just had to go there, and you had to wait in line for the payphone to call my father and go over the cars with him. And he'd give me the bids and say, but I had to look at them, describe them, and then we'd come with, what we're going to pay for the cars. First thing he'd say is, who's there? Because he wanted to know who the competition was.
Sure.
And that's the first thing I learned is when you go to an auction, an open auction like that, you got to figure out who your competition is. Just figure out how much you're going to need to spend on a car.
There's what the car is worth, and then there's what you're going to pay because of the other people that are there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And sometimes maybe you don't like that guy, so you're going to run him.
Oh gosh, I've seen that. Or the new guy. I used to see that.
Yeah.
If the new guy stepped in, the veterans would work him over, and eventually they'd let him in. But he had to earn that new guy had to earn his keep.
That's right. And then you had the live auctioneer, and sometimes I'd be there, and I wouldn't even be bidding the car, and he'd slam it and say, "Sold, Robertson's." I was like, "What? What's going on?" And he just looked at me, and I said, "Okay." But next one I bought, I got really cheap.
Yep. Yeah. Gosh, it was so much fun. I got the tail end of it. I worked that environment for about 7-8 years at Manheim, standing on the block, repping cars, standing next to the auctioneer. Boy, that was an education. It was so much fun. It was like a carnival every week.
It is.
I miss it. Yeah. And I understand. I see like how much more efficient it is now. Mm-hmm. It's not as fun.
Nothing like a live auction. But, the live auctions, it bred animosity in our industry because we were competing with other salvage yards for our product face-to-face. Nowadays, you're just bidding. There's 20,000 bidders from around the world.
Yeah.
So I don't think we look at the other people in our industry as competitors now. We almost look at them as partners,
Yeah.
especially with the trading networks. And that's a huge change in our industry. Back in the 90s, late, 80s, 90s, I'm sure it was like this in the 70s. You'd go to an ARA convention, there'd be fistfights. I mean, they'd
No
be
way.
brawling. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, we do our fair share of wrestling.
That's right. You sure do, Vince.
I believe you've been involved as well. I think you darn near maimed Mr. Nordstrom
Yeah.
one year.
Yeah. I went to a hockey camp. I was a big hockey player up in Montreal when I was a kid, and the and the counselors it was off ice time and they had to fill the time, so they were going to wrestle. So they paired people up, and this, okay, Scott, you're wrestling this kid. So I'm wrestling him. All of a sudden, I hear the kid starts crying. I broke his ankle.
Oh, ankle lock. You're not supposed oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that's fun. I can't believe that there used to be those kinds of like real fights at an ARA convention.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long is it? Oh, go ahead.
I didn't see them, but my father and uncle would tell you. And oh yeah.
Well, they are good storytellers.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Your uncle told a story one time when we were up there filming Total Treasure about how he got smuggled in with the Russian hockey team. I think it was. What was it?
It was with the German national team.
Yeah,
and they were going over to Czechoslovakia, and my uncle was in the special forces, and part of the training is they wake up in the middle of the night and say, "You're out. You got a month to live on your own."
Oh yeah.
So my uncle didn't know what to do, so he went down to the hockey rink. He was a big hockey player, and he was just doing some odd jobs down there, and then he became friends with some of the guys that were playing hockey. And they said, "Oh, Howie, come on out and skate with us." And my uncle was pretty good, and he was fast, and he played with a lot of people around the Boston area that turned pro, and. He was like, "Man, I'm going as fast as I can, and I can't keep up with these guys."
Wow.
I was like, "What is it?" And later on he found out that they were the German national team for Germany.
Gosh.
All the best hockey players in Germany were on this team, and they liked my uncle, and so they were going to play games, and they said, "How are you coming with us?" And they were going to Czechoslovakia, and he's like, "I can't go into Czechoslovakia. I'm special forces." So they said, "Oh, don't worry about it," and they hit him in the back of the bus underneath all the hockey bags, and he got into Czechoslovakia and back.
Did he play? No. He
No. He was like a mascot or something. Yeah.
That's amazing. I remember him telling that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how long let's talk about the history of Robertson's. You talked about how your uncle and your dad used to go to ARA conventions. So business has been around a while, and they've been plugged into the trade association for a long time. So tell me about that. Like, I know you started, it started, I forget if it was your grandfather or father, but
my father,
like
grandfather.
towing, right?
Yeah, well, originally they had a gas station in Boston.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was it near Logan?
No.
No.
It was in Mission Hill. It was over near the Baptist Hospital.
Okay.
And they did the 24 hours. They was open 24 hours. It was in a tough neighborhood. They'd have people at the end of the shift at the hospital would come down, and they'd be lined up to get their cars. And
why would they be? Wait a second, I missed something.
Why? Because we did vehicle repairs.
Oh, so they would drop their cars off and go
That's
to
right.
work.
Yeah. And they did all sorts of stuff. And the guy across from them was Jerry Angulo. Do you know who Jerry Angulo was?
No.
Jerry Angulo ran the mob in Boston for the Italians.
Okay.
Yeah. He and Whitey Bulger didn't get along, so Whitey had the Southie, and Jerry Angulo ran the North End in East Boston and stuff like that.
And he had what did he have, a business like a front across the street, or was that just where he hung out?
That was like his office right across the street from the from the gas station.
You're a mobster, you got an office.
Yeah. But they have stories about that gas station. They told me. I mean, guys that were coming back from Vietnam, they thought they were big and tough, and they were going to, be able to manage it at night. And first night in, my father gets the call. I'm leaving. I can't take this place. yeah, yeah, yeah. But they did some really, crazy stuff. I can remember one time some guy had a dispute over the bill, didn't want to pay the bill, so my uncle just says, "Okay, next." And the guy goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm taking the next person in the line. Well, the guy got pissed and left and came back a couple of weeks later. He said, "Okay, I'll settle up." He goes, my uncle goes, "We don't have your car." What? Yeah. And the guy goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I don't know. Your car's gone, man." Yeah. They junked it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. But back then in the '60s,
Yeah.
and you get the mob boss across the street, no one's going to mess with you.
So were they friendly? Did they have any kind of relationship with the guy
Who's that, Jerry?
across? Yeah.
Um,
They ever interact?
a little bit. He sometimes he left his cars over there. He'd get his gas. My uncle tells the story that I was a kid. I was probably 5 years old when I was in there, and I pumped his gas, and he gave me a $5 tip. But back in the '60s, a $5 tip. The whole bill was probably $2 or something.
Yeah.
Gas was 20 cents a gallon back there, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they really didn't interact too much.
No.
Did you? I remember you told a story about a girl's car that broke down, and it was some connection. Like she had maybe I'm thinking somebody else. I thought it was like his daughter or something. Had a car that broke down.
Yeah, they used to fix his daughter's car and his girlfriend's car and stuff like that. They bring him over and they helped him out. Because,
Interesting times, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then from there, how'd we end up selling used auto parts?
Well, my mother was from Wareham, and my father would come down to visit his in-laws, and there was a local J-word. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
There was a local junkyard in town, and the guy was an alcoholic and didn't run it, and this and that. And my father eventually bought it, thinking that he could source parts to the repair shop up in Boston with the parts down here or do something. And shortly after that, they lost the lease on the property because they saw how much business that they were doing
On the gas station?
on the gas station. The oil company said, no, we're gonna take this spot back. And so they were like, hey, looks like we got to go down and
Sell parts.
sell parts.
And what year was that? That was late 60s?
69, 70, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you were young.
Yeah, I was born in '64, so I was 6
Yeah.
years old. Yeah,
Did you hang out the business much when you were a kid?
I actually lived in a house that was right next to the business, on the property of the
Oh,
business.
so you were there.
I was there. They had chickens and pigs and all sorts of stuff. I can remember I used to have to go in and try to get the eggs, but there was this one nasty rooster. He was all white, and his nickname was the Professor. And I used to go in and try to get the eggs.
This is a core childhood memory here.
Oh, yeah. I used to go in and try to get the eggs, and I'd be looking for the Professor. And then finally I'd see him, and he'd come after me with his talons and shit, and I'd have to run through the cars and dodge and go crazy.
There wasn't even a coop. They were just out in the yard?
No, we had a coop, and I didn't want to go in that coop, man, because the Professor was in there. He was one badass bird.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And we had geese. I can remember the geese one time. I was over there, and freaking geese chased me and bit me right in the ass. Gave me this big black and blue spot. Oh, my God. It was nasty. They'd hiss, and they were gross.
Needless to say, you probably don't have real fond memories about farm animals. Like you're not the type that's going to go into homesteading, are you?
I'm not a big farmer, no. The only farming I would do would be a vineyard.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would suit your style. You like to travel.
I do. Yeah.
You guys, did you just get back, or are you going? We were talking about something. Oh, Hill Days. You said you're going to be in Italy.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Italy. My younger daughter is getting married in Piedmont, and we're going to go into Rome first, and then after the wedding, and then afterwards we're going to go to Mallorca, and then to Barcelona.
Wow, that sounds cheap.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah.
It's a pretty cheap little 4-day weekend.
Yeah, no.
She only
it's long,
gets married
it's longer than
once.
4 days.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I know that's your favorite place, isn't it?
Oh, I love Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's great. Well, you were just over there.
Yeah, my wife and I went there for the first time last year. We had a wonderful time. we're in love with it. We're talking about going back.
That's good.
It's really cool.
That's good. Yeah. Anybody still call you Enzo?
Yeah, actually, I called Tom yesterday or 2 days ago, and he picks up the phone. Enzo. So that really stuck. That stuck with you. It stuck with him. I get it from a few others every once in a while.
That's good.
Did not anticipate that, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you left the business. Well, you went to college. You went to Fordham.
I went to Fordham.
And what kind of a degree did you get?
Finance.
Finance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually wanted to go to NYU. And I was down on my interview with NYU, and the guy was a hard ass and this and that. And I went to a prep school, and I wanted to go directly into the business school. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you into the business school. He says, I'll let you into NYU and the general studies, and then you can transfer in. So I got pissed at him. I said, I'm not doing that. If you don't want me straight away business school, I'm not coming. And I go, where else can I look in New York City for a good business school? And he goes, go to Fordham. So I said, fine, I'm going to go to Fordham. So I went up there, took a tour, filled out the application. In 2 weeks, they let me in, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that fun? Did you have a good time in college?
Oh, yeah. How could you not?
I don't know. I didn't go.
Yeah. I was in New York City.
Yeah.
I was in the Bronx. The White Castle was across the street from the campus with bulletproof glass.
Did you come home much, or did you spend most of your year?
Mostly I was in the Bronx. I lived on campus my freshman year, and then afterwards I get an apartment. And I had the apartment for probably 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Because when I was buying in that area, I drive down and stay in my apartment, and it was easier than going back and forth. We used to have an airplane that used to shuttle the buyers down into that area, so we got rid of the airplane, and it was a lot cheaper having an apartment than an airplane.
Yeah, I remember in your store, there's a room which you told me was like the airplane room or something like that?
That was nicknamed the Pilot's Lounge.
The Pilot's Lounge. That sounds way
Pilot's
better.
Lounge, and we had a pilot on staff, and he'd fly us around. And back then, you had to go to the auctions, and we had a staff of 3 to 5 buyers who, every day they'd go to the auctions, and you were lucky if you. This is even before the time of faxes, so you couldn't even get a faxed copy of what's at the sale.
Wow.
Sometimes you call them up and they'd read off what was in the sale. But times are different. Back then, if a car had 100,000 miles on it, it was junk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was junk. If it had over 60,000 miles on it, the motor's probably not good.
Tired at best.
Really tired. Yeah. Times are different. Nowadays, 200,000 miles, and people are like, oh, yeah, that's a great car. And
it's amazing what you see people will pay for a 10-year-old car with close to 200,000 miles on it, and they're still paying 15,000, 18,000. That's just amazes me. So let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the industry. COVID was a boom. Mm-hmm. Things leveled out. 25 was kind of flat. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I think we're in tough times right now. January is usually one of our busiest months.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And January, February, March, April up here in the Northeast. And I got a call from a couple of guys who I know in the area. And they said, hey, Scott, how was your January? And I said, it sucked. He goes, yeah, it sucked for us too. February's a lot better. I'm going to use a phrase, margin compression.
Okay.
Margin compression is alive and it's seeping into our industry.
Let's talk. What is it?
Margin compression is when your profit shrinks. Your ability to make money gets harder and harder and tighter and tighter.
Cost of goods go up? Is that part of it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cost of everything goes up. I just got a 25% increase on my health care.
Yeah.
25%.
Yeah.
And my bill went from $18,000 a month to $4,000 a month.
What's the other? Is there another part of that equation, or is it just increasing cost of goods that creates that margin compression?
It's a lot of things. The employees are making more because they have to, especially up here in the Northeast. The cost of living is so high.
Yeah.
It's the price you pay for the vehicles at auction. It's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Inflation's gone up. Everything's gone up. I mean, you buy a new delivery truck, and load it up. It's over $60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? Like, where do you, is this the sky's falling or is there silver linings?
They will always need our industry because they need someone to process vehicles. People will always be there to buy used auto parts. We're not going away.
Right.
I think there's going to be fewer and fewer of us. It costs a lot of money to start a salvage company.
Yeah.
You look at some of the big consolidators, and they're not doing very well.
You haven't seen a consolidator purchase in a little while. It seemed like there was happening every other month, and now.
Yeah, and you get rumblings with LKQs looking to sell. I heard
They sold off all their self-service last year.
That's right.
And then there was a little blurb in the news about them thinking about
selling the company.
Selling the company.
Yeah. They're feeling the margin compression. I think the consolidators are feeling the margin compression. I heard there was some layoffs yesterday from a consolidator.
Really?
Yeah. The pay, different pay structures for their salespeople. They're constantly trying. See, the consolidators they have to answer to the venture capital boys.
Yeah, and they bought high, didn't they?
They bought high, and they expect big returns, and I don't think they're getting the big returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think's going on in the industry that's exciting?
What's exciting?
Is there some technology?
Yes.
There's
Well, there's AI, and there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road with AI.
Sure.
It's not going to be perfect right away, but it's definitely coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day, and I love this. It says, "Stop treating AI like a software and start treating it like an employee." And brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you use it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Do you use it? So I think there's certainly more than two ways, but the first two ways that come to my mind is administrative, right? Reviewing documents, consolidating, blah, 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 right? And then there's integrating it with other software to do large model computations and things like that. Like, I mean, I don't think at this point, but it'd be exciting to see. Is anybody out there using AI to inventory? Any softwares?
That's coming.
Yeah.
And we will use it in inventory. We're going to use it in buying. We're going to use it in selling. We're going to use it in changing our prices.
I think you'll use it for processing orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna use it with building routes when we deliver. We're going to use it with picking shipping companies. What's the most cost efficient way of delivering this part?
Yeah.
And it might be putting in the mail, putting in UPS, and not putting it on a delivery truck.
Yeah, I've seen software that does that where it knows the part. Like you tell it the part, it knows the dimensions of the part, how much the part weighs. It knows all of the different freight companies, the prices, where it's going. It knows where that part's going based on your shipping information, and it will automatically print out the most cost-effective printing label and tell you what size box and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
What other things do you see that could have an impact on our industry? Any negative or positive?
A lot of encouraging signs is the way ARA and URG and PRP, everybody's working together.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to do that when I was on the executive committee, and we got a lot of pushback. And I couldn't be more prouder of you guys for doing that.
Thanks.
I mean that's awesome. I mean, we tried, but the leadership that was in position at that time, they really weren't receptive to what we were hoping to do. But
Yeah.
it's great that you guys are doing it.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
We've got the quality compliance program. We're hammering the rest of that out. We've and then so the way it's going to work is quality compliance program will replace Gold Seal, and in order to go through that program, you have to be an ARA member. You have to be certified through ARA. You have to be recall endorsed through ARA, and then you have to be a URG member. Once you've met all those qualifications, you can then go through the quality compliance program. And once you complete that, you will be given a designation which we're calling CARE, which is Certified Automotive Recycler of Excellence. And we're very proud of the work we've done on that so far. We're finishing up kind of the mechanics of it and how it's going to work and platform interface, user interface, all that stuff. The group that has been assembled is fantastic. I'm talking people from ARA, people from URG, recyclers from the industry that have an interest in both, and it's really cool to see everybody working together toward a common interest to lift the industry and provide consistency. Like people who go through this program and achieve that designation will be able to say to the world, we are part of a group of auto recyclers who are delivering quality consistently, part as ordered, as described, and we're very excited about the opportunities in the partnerships. We've got some big online sellers that are interested in partnering with us on for recyclers who are part of that program. So it's a real exciting time.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So talk about your journey through the executive committee. When were you first approached? Were you a yes on the first ask, and then what was all that like? Who asked you?
Mike Swift.
Mike Swift.
But before that, I got a call. I forget who it was. But they called me asking me to be a regional director. And at that time, we had like 23 regional directors, something like that, some stupid amount. And at first, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll think about it. It was Chris Wright, and Chris Wright goes, no, Scott, I have to know right now. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, holy cow, this guy's really hard selling me. And I said, yeah, okay, Chris, I'll do it. Okay, yeah. And I started out as a regional director. And then
what was your responsibility as a regional director?
I didn't know. They told me I had to attend some meetings back then. It was on a telephone.
Yeah.
And boy, those meetings, all those calls were hard. I didn't know who was speaking, who was talking. I didn't know half the stuff they were talking about. I mean, halfway through being on the EC, I still didn't know what Sika meant. Finally, I go, hey, what's the Sika? That's why when I was on the EC, I used to always the junior member, the person coming on, I used to always ask them, "Do you know what this means? Do you know what that means?" Because I can remember back when I was in that position and I had no clue. So I used to always say, hey, especially I think Nick was coming on. Hey, Nick, you know what this means? You know what that means? Yeah. And he was like, no. So
yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
So you were regional for how long before you were invited onto the EC?
3-4 years, okay. I think. Yeah. And then Mike Swift brought me on. And then I was on there with David Gold was president, RD was past president, and Jono and Chad and me.
Yeah. And that's about the time I came in. That was fun.
Yeah.
What was the experience like? Was it because it's a big time commitment, isn't it?
Yeah. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Very rewarding.
I was going to ask, the time away from your business versus what you put into the association and what you got back out of it. Because you don't really go into it seeking to get out, right? It's a volunteer position. But you did, in fact, get some benefit from it, did you?
Oh, absolutely. I received far more than I gave.
Yeah.
With friendships, meeting people, experiences. 8 months ahead of time what's coming out. It's And when I left, it was hard. It's sort of like being a drunk and trying to get straight. It's like, oh man, I don't have this information anymore.
Being on the EC is like being a drunk. Is that what you said?
I did. I was having withdrawals. Jesus, what the hell are they talking about? I'm supposed to be in a meeting right now. Yeah. But
you're not the first person who said that.
Yep.
It's drinking from a fire hose and then walking around thirsty. Nothing.
Done.
Yeah.
I mean, people think that, he used to be on the EC. He still has his hands involved in it and this and that. No, it's cold turkey. You're done.
Yeah.
You're off.
It's bittersweet though, because you're kind of relishing in the fact that you get all this time back. Like there's a lot of meetings and phone calls and emails and text messages, and then you get all that time back, but then you get cut off from all the information.
This setup right here, this reminds me of like a Saturday night skit, like sweaty balls. Vince, are those your favorites? Are you making balls? Those your sweaty balls?
I'm making sweaty balls.
Can I touch your sweaty? Can I touch them?
I'm gonna have to figure out whether or not I'm cutting that. Oh man, yeah, jeez, that's funny. So Nate's in the business. Last time I talked to you, it was a while back, and he was kind of indifferent about it.
He always wanted to be in it. I try to push him into going to school. Mm-hmm. When he's 19, 20 years old, 21. I don't want to say there's growing up to do, but you're gonna have to kind of find yourself.
You're only 19 years old, There's definitely growing up to do.
Yeah. So I learned a lot. Both my wife and myself went to Fordham, and both my girls went to college. Both my girls have their graduate degrees. It just wasn't for Nate.
Yeah.
I
get it.
Yeah. And then, we said, you got to go work for somebody else. And he kind of dug his heels in. And we had a Mexican standoff there for a while. And I kind of think that my wife and I blinked.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened? Parenting is tough. And I've always said that, the first stage, like birth till whatever, early teens, once they start to figure out they have their own thoughts, things start to change a little bit, but then they still comply. They're very young. But then once they get to, I think it's that middle school, high school, the chemistry, their bodies change, hormones are changing, everything is changed. They're going through all this transformation, physically, culturally, socially, all of this stuff. It almost starts to be the tail wagging the dog a little bit, and you're just kind of managing. And then by the time they get to young adulthood, you find yourself sometimes, and I'm just talking personally, I don't know what your situation is, but you find yourself sometimes doing things in the interest of the relationship and going, well, they're going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to listen or they're not going to listen. They're going to take my advice or they're going to ignore my advice. But at the end of the day, I still want them to come home for Thanksgiving. I still want them to come home. So we can't torpedo over this one topic.
Right. Yeah.
Can't nuke the relationship over this, and you got to fold.
It's hard.
And watch them crash. And
parenting is hard,
Parenting adults is harder than parenting children, I think, in my opinion.
You're right, because your children usually like you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're Superman.
Yeah. And you don't have to go to any class. You don't have to take any school or get a degree or a certificate to have a kid and to be a parent. Mm-mm. There's lots of crappy parents out there.
There are.
Yeah,
but it's a tough gig. Do you so one of your daughters is already married, correct?
One is getting married in Piedmont.
Right, that one. But the other one is I thought you had a married kid.
Yeah, well, no. She's not married, but her boyfriend asked me to go to lunch with him on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this will not air till well after that. I can promise you.
Yes.
You're stacked up in the queue, so that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah. He took me to lunch and asked me. And
oh, you mean this past Monday?
Like 3 days ago.
Oh, I thought you meant Monday coming.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I already knew that he was looking at a ring, and I saw a picture of the ring, so I kind of knew it was coming. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
and we like him.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm happy for
he's
you.
a winner, and the one who's getting married in a couple months. He's a winner too.
Oh, good.
Great families.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son-in-law, great story. We met him when we went to my daughter's graduation at Liberty. We knew we were going to meet him. They actually met at work, and they were intentionally just friends for months. And she kind of knew she liked him, and kind of knew he liked her, but they just wanted to be friends. They wanted to get to know each other. And then they decided to date, and yada yada yada. And then, so you're going to meet my boyfriend when you come to graduation. So we come, and I walk up, and we're there, and he walks up. I'll never forget this. He's like 6'3". He's a huge guy. He was on the football team. Big smile, really kind, sticks out his hand, looks me right in the eye, says, "How you doing, Mr. Edelman? My name is Zach." And then he goes, "I really like that jacket." I'm like, "Ah, this son of a gun." He compliments my jacket right off the bat.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. And we spent a little bit of time after graduation, and then they actually came back to our house. We lived about 2.5 hours from Liberty. Spent some few hours, and then went back. And then that evening at about 9:30, I get a text from him. He says, "Hey, Mr. Edelman, this is Zach. Do you have time for a conversation?" And I showed it to Michelle, and I went, "No." That was it. And then the next day, we got on the phone, and he did everything right. He was perfect. Big guy, big strong guy, and he just was so tenderhearted and fumbled around, and he's telling me how he had great intentions. He wasn't going to do anything I didn't want. He was just really good. And then he asked me if he could date Emily, and I go, "Absolutely, yeah."
Yeah.
And so just like when you're a dad, like this is what you want.
So he asked you if he could date your daughter.
Yes.
Wow, I've never done that.
Yeah. And then, fast forward, they're getting engaged. He calls me up. He says, "Hey, I want to come up and talk to you." He's in Lynchburg. I'm in Fredericksburg. I said, "Yeah, of course." So I found out later he turns off his location on his phone, so Emily doesn't know. And he drives 2 hours, 2.5 hours to my house, and we sit down. And again, he's a big emotional, professing his love and commitment to take care of her for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Wow.
Big guy's got tears coming down.
Wow.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
You start crying too?
I might have. I was trying to hold it together. I want to be, tough dad.
Yeah.
But he was doing all that, and then when he was all done, he's sitting there, and I said, "Zach," he looks at me, he goes, "What?" I go, "You gonna ask me something?" And then he asked to marry Emily, and I said, "Absolutely." So that's been, again, like when you're a dad, like this is want your daughter to find a good guy. You want your son to find a good woman, and you want your daughters to find a good man, and when those things start to happen, those are some of the great moments in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
How'd you and Ann meet? You met at college, right?
We did. I was a junior. She was a freshman. It was like I was at the bars. I think it was even before classes started, and I was just hanging out, and I won't tell the whole story, but she actually came up and approached me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I kind of laughed at her, and that's how our relationship started.
Little cat and mouse, but the other way around.
Yeah.
Did you play hard to get?
No, not really. No. But I mean, I wasn't out of the bar looking for an incoming freshman. I was, looking to be with the.
Yeah. How long you been married?
Oh, we were married in 91. So
wow.
35 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we've been dating. I mean, we weren't hot and heavy when we first started dating. I don't think we started dating hot and heavy halfway through her freshman year, I think. And you said her family's from Wareham. No. Her family, Ann's family's from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She still got family up there?
No, they've all left. Well, she has aunts and uncles that live there, but her immediate family are gone. I can remember I was there once at her family's house, and I brought lobsters over. I was going to cook them lobsters, and they'd never. I don't think they'd ever cooked lobsters. And she's the oldest of 5 girls.
Oh my God!
So all of her sisters are there, and this and that. So, I'm turning them upside down, putting them to sleep, this and that, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna steam them. Like, okay.
Wait. You put them to sleep
Oh, yeah.
before you put them in the pot?
No. They're just playing around, messing around with them. You can
Oh.
put them upside down on their claws,
Yeah.
and they actually go to sleep.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. You kind of tickle the underside of their tail, and they just boop, they're out.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I used to do that as a kid, and so I'm right about to put them in the pot. I go, okay, cover your ears, because when I put them in here, they scream. All these little girls with their hands over their ears.
Oh, that's great. That's funny.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah. So we've been married 35 years, but we've been dating and known each other for over 40 years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys? You think you'll ever retire?
Probably not.
No.
No. I think I have another good 10 more years left, early 70s. I'd like to take more time off.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to, a buddy calls me, hey, you want to play golf this afternoon? Just to say, hey, guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
And walk. Right now.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
Is there an heir apparent?
Well, yeah, I have a really good management team.
Good.
But it's awful hard to lead by example and say, hey,
Right.
I'm out of here. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to go play golf. You bust your ass here. Or I'm going to be on my boat. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they tolerate that. I travel a lot, so I'm away a lot.
Yeah.
But when I'm there, we're working 10, 12 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
Busting ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when do you have any big changes coming?
At the business?
Yeah.
Well, we opened up the U-Pole that Nate's doing.
Is it under Robertson's Auto Salvage, or does it have another name?
No.
Just Robertson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you open? When did that open?
We've had a soft opening. It took a while to set up the yard. Took about 3-4 months to set up the yard, reconfigure the yard and everything. I got my operating system up and going on December 1st. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And are you planning a grand opening of any sort, or are you just going to roll?
We're just probably going to roll with it.
Mm-hmm. And how's it been so far? How are you getting the word out?
It's tough right now with all the snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really crappy. I mean, the first time in 5 years we've had snow in this area.
Yeah.
It's been
A lot of snow.
a ton of snow, and they're talking maybe a foot or 2 feet coming on Monday,
Ugh.
if it tracks up north to us.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't happen. One of the main reasons why I opened up the U-Pole is because right after I told you we wouldn't talk of politics, but right after a certain president got into office, I noticed that a lot of my non-English speaking clientele weren't coming in the doors anymore. And, just like anybody who lives, around the cities or up in the Northeast,
Sure.
or wherever, I mean, immigrants and people in the lower incomes, and people who have English as a second language, they fix their cars with used auto parts.
Yeah.
I don't have doctors and lawyers and venture capital guys walking in.
No.
They've dropped their car off at the BMW or the Mercedes dealer to get it fixed. So I noticed that there was a huge drop-off in my walk-in traffic. So I said, well, I got to do something. I buy a lot of street cars, and I could have done one or two things with the street cars. I could have just crushed them or laid them into the U-Pole. And I said, let's try the U-Pole.
Yeah.
And it brought people back.
Oh, good.
It brought people back. And once they walk in the door, they might be in for an antenna or a side marker light. But then they see that set of tires and wheels, or they see this, so they tell their buddy about something. So once the foot traffic came back in, business started to pick up again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So one of the great things about this industry is the and I think you mentioned it earlier in the conversation, is about how competitors are so helpful, right? And so you're opening up a self-serve, and you've been on the EC, and people all over the country who run self-serves. Have you been able to leverage some of those relationships to get some
absolutely.
advice and kind of direction? Yeah,
Absolutely. And I joined a peer group,
Oh.
which if anybody here is listening and they're not involved in a peer group, it's well worth the money and the time you spend on it. I didn't do it until like 4 years ago, and I started doing it with my full serve, and I just joined one with the self serve, and it's sort of like going back to school.
Yeah.
You learn so much, and it's just a little different twist. And
So you're technically in two peer groups.
two peer groups, yeah.
And does Nate attend
He attends the
the
self-serve.
self-serve one?
He hasn't. He's only gone to one full serve.
Yeah.
I might have him come to some of the full serves, but right now he's the one and only employee for the self-serve.
Sure.
So he's gonna stay home and manage
Yeah.
that right now.
So 4 years, and that's been a good thing for you.
Yeah. And
It's pretty transparent, isn't it? Like,
oh yeah.
You go in there, you're going to get beat up a little bit sometimes.
You lay your shit on the table, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you think you got your stuff together, and they poke holes in it, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
How do you find that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good.
It's really good.
And you've seen the results. Like you've seen over the past 4 years, the improvements in the business.
I mean, it's not always great. And if business was always great, the peer groups wouldn't work because people would just be rolling in money. There's always ebbs and flows and challenges, but it's great. I mean, we have a chat. We have a chat group with our peer group, and we probably talk 3-4 times a week.
Oh wow!
Yeah, through the messages and stuff, and sometimes we just joke around, and
Sure.
sometimes it's real important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you think there's still room in this industry for startups? For somebody, because I was telling somebody the other day, sometimes about once a year I'll meet somebody and at a show, and they're new, they're starry-eyed. And, I got
A dreamer.
Yeah, and I want to put my arm around them. You don't want to crush those people.
No.
But what would you say to somebody like that?
They should look at buying a underperforming business first.
Yeah.
And not start it from
Greenfield.
Of greenfield. Starting it from a greenfield is hard. You don't have any customers. You don't have any inventory. You don't have any infrastructure. You don't have any employees. If you buy an underperforming business, all that's there. You have some employees that might be crappy employees, but at least you got people there.
Yeah.
And the inventory might be bad. At least you can junk it and
Create a little bit of revenue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see a new YMS pop up anytime soon?
I don't know. There really isn't much coming out of the other YMSs. I can remember a while ago I was on the Hollidays Strategic Advisory Committee, where I met a lot of friends. Made a lot of friends on that. They really picked our brains, and they worked us hard to bounce stuff off us. But that's where I met Shannon Nordstrom and a bunch of people. Marty. That's where I met Marty. And I'll tell you a funny Marty story. I was at a Hollander event. We were in Napa, which was really nice. We're at Silverado Vineyards, and I'm sitting there, and my wife's on one side of me, and Marty's on my other side.
Oh dear.
And they're feeding us filet mignon. So it comes out, and mine's nice and rare.
Oh yeah.
Marty gets his, and he says, "I can't eat this. You're gonna have to butterfly this and put it back." So they butterfly it and bring it back. And Marty's looking at it. He goes, "Scott, what's that green stuff?" I go, "Marty, that's broccolini." He goes, What's that shit?" I go, "Well, it's a little bitter, but it's okay. I'm not eating that stuff. Here you go." And he scrapes it on my plate. Yeah. Marty's probably the smartest guy in this industry who I've ever met.
Yeah.
He is so smart, and I don't think he graduated high school. I think he left.
I just talked to him. I
Yeah.
just interviewed him.
Really smart.
He left high school before his last year.
Yeah.
He did go back and get his GED, but yeah, he just and he's brilliant.
Brilliant. Really, really, really smart guy. And he not only does he have, he's a naturally smart, but he's street smart.
Yeah.
But he's street smart. Yeah.
He's got some good stories.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Some bad jokes, but good stories.
Yeah. He's fun.
Marty, your jokes are funny. I'm
Yeah.
just goofing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he called me this morning, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've enjoyed the friendships that I've been able to make in my time with ARA, and I'm having a good time. It's great.
Yeah. I was on the EC with Marty for 5 years. He was right behind me.
Yeah.
A genuine guy. He would give you the shirt off your back.
He would drive to your house to give it to you too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? We're
Well, tell you what. I'm going to ask you a question.
okay.
Why don't you tell people the one thing that people don't realize that you are, or what you struggled with, or something that someone wouldn't know about you?
Professionally, I'm assuming we're not talking personal.
Well, it could be personal.
Gosh, what did I struggle with? I think like anybody else. I mean, I'm assuming, but I can look back on every role I've ever had, Progressive, Mannheim, Copart, as a consultant, ARA, and I think I've always had an element of imposter syndrome. You know, like I didn't deserve, like somebody's going to wake up one day and figure it out, and they're going to be like, yeah, we're done with you.
Yeah.
And so that's been tough, because even when you try to overcome that, you're pushing. So what's the other side of that is arrogance. And so trying to figure out the balance between I don't deserve it and I do deserve it,
self-esteem,
but I'm still humble about it, you know? And so I think that's always been a struggle for me.
Yeah.
You know, to a degree, even in my marriage, I look at her and I'm like, I don't deserve her. You know, but you know, we're going on 32 years. So if she's going to wait, I told her, I said, if you wake up and decide you want to leave me, that's okay, but I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
So, but that's something that's been tough. I have had a few rounds of stepping in and not being accepted. When I was with Progressive, I left Progressive and I went to a collision repair shop, and they knew me there. Well, first of all, the owner was a childhood friend of mine, and so everybody who worked there knew me as his buddy, and they knew
that's hard.
And then they knew me as the Progressive claims adjuster who used to write estimates.
That's right.
And then I came in and I didn't know how. They're like, you don't know how to write an estimate, and that was a tough environment, right? To go against that. And then that was a short stint. I think I went back to Progressive, but at some point then I went to Mannheim, and the GM who hired me at Mannheim was a good friend of mine from church. And so I came in as the GM's buddy. And again, it took me a long time. And I'll tell you something, in both of those instances, when I was leaving the body shop, some of the guys, some of the body men who treated me the worst were the nicest to me on the way out, and not because I was leaving. They'd come around, but I always approached it. I always tried to approach it with a learner's mindset. Like, okay, you tell me I don't know how to write a sheet. Here's my sheet. Tell me what I did wrong, and I'll fix it. I'll do it better. You know. And so, really, after a couple of years, I was writing sheets pretty good. You know, and they hated to see me go. And same thing at Mannheim. After a while, some of the other managers, I was a department manager, and there was probably a dozen department managers, and they were part of that. They were a tight little clique, and I was on the outside, and I was only included because they had to include me. Yeah. And you know, I still enjoyed what I was doing. I've never really drawn too much self-worth out of being included in a group.
Be in the clique.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them are cool. Some of them are,
Yeah.
sometimes you look at the clique and you go,
Yeah.
it would make my life easier.
Yeah.
But I'm not, those guys, I don't really want to be like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they came around. I had one guy in particular who, he pulled me in his office and he apologized for the way he had treated me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was happened a long time ago. And it was a moment that, I'll never forget. He had a faith lifestyle change. And I think he was just taking inventory and I was kind of on the list of people that he may not have treated as like he wanted to. And so he made it right. And I thought that was a big thing to do. There's been a few times where I've walked into situations where I was an outsider and I had to work my way in, and it wasn't always, I mean, look, I've never picked coal. I'm not saying I've dug ditches. I'm not saying it's that kind of hard. Yeah. But yeah, those have been some challenges.
That is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Got any other questions? That was good.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good, huh?
Go ahead.
I gotta flip the switch.
Go ahead, flip the switch. If you got something, we'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Here you go. Where do you want to be in 10 years?
10 years. So I'm 59. I'll be 60 years old this year. So there's a lot of variables. Like I told Michelle this between Christmas and New Year's, some time off, right? We were approaching New Year's, and I don't know, like everybody, you kind of take inventory of the year, and I looked at her and I said, this 2025 was a high watermark professionally for me. Like I've been blessed. I have never had even with the things I just told you, I've never had a job that I hated. I've always enjoyed what I do. I was an auto mechanic. I was a tire changer when I was young. I've always worked around, had something to do with cars, and I've always enjoyed it. Progressive was fascinating because there was this investigative component to it, trying to figure out who did what, who's at fault. But I said to her, I go, 2025 has just been professionally one of the best years. Like I loved it. And it was a breakthrough year because I came into a new role, and I wasn't sure. Now I had a lot more people encouraging me and supporting me than not, but I'm always aware that there's a group. Of nots, right? That don't think I deserve it.
That's
or
right.
I'm good enough for it, and I'm okay with that. That's good. Kind of makes me strive a little bit harder. I finished the year. We did the convention in Alabama, and nothing burned down, and we actually made some strides forward, and put some pieces in place, and the staff. I gotta tell you, one of the best things that happened is when the EC came to me and they said, probably summertime, July, August time, they said, we want to, we do I can't remember if they came to me or I asked them, but I'm like, we need to do a review. I need a performance review of me. Okay. I was talking to Eric, he was president at the time, and he says, well, how do you want to do that? I said, well, I want one component to be that you interview the staff. And he says, really? I go, yeah. I said, not just for me, but I think we need to establish this as the way we do performance reviews for the executive director going forward. Like, so a lot of what I do and the things I implement as an executive director are because obviously it's all filtered through top priority, what's good for the association, what's good for the industry. And then the next thing is what's good for the industry. And then what's good for the health of the association, like looking at the association as a business, what's a good decision for that? And I thought, you guys as an executive committee, you have a certain dimensional impression of my performance, but you have no idea what the staff thinks of me.
Right.
And I could be hiding a lot. And so I think it's really important that you talk to the staff. And I had to, some of the staff wasn't comfortable, and I had to tell them, no, I need you to be transparent.
That's right.
Blah, blah, you need to tell them. And and it went well. I mean, they seem happy. You know, they seem to like what they do. They seem to be energized about coming to work, and that just makes me proud. I'm just really happy about that.
Yeah.
And so when I think about, long answer, when I think about where I want to be in 10 years, again, I'm going to be 60 this year. This is the time when you start thinking about, we went to Italy last year, and I kind of want, my wife and I, we want to travel more.
Yeah.
And so I think I've said this a few times. If I'm still doing this in 6, 7, 10 years, it's going to be because I'm just still having so much fun doing it, and things are going well. And so I could be retired in 10 years. I don't know, because as long as the executive committee thinks I'm doing a good job, and as long as my staff is happy and doing a good job and happy at the way I manage, and as long as I'm still having fun. So as long as those three things are aligning,
Yeah.
I don't know
There
why.
you go. Just roll with it.
Yeah, just roll with it.
Yeah.
So there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you got an ace in the hole there too, with keeping the association flush.
What's that?
The building.
The building. Yeah. We were talking about the building. Well, we talked about the building on the board call the other day. So that's we talk all the time, about finding non-dues revenue for the association. Well, the building is non-dues revenue.
That building doesn't help auto recyclers.
It does if it funds the association.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's a direction that we're going to go, and start seeing how we can leverage the building to fund the association in a small way. I think we're looking at more small ways. Like I think we were always kind of looking for the home run, right? Like, oh, man, if we could get a $10 million grant, whatever. But if we can create a $3,000 a month revenue stream by doing that, maybe the podcast turns into a small revenue stream. Maybe Church Street, the building, turns into a small revenue stream. We can put together, maybe one day we have swag. We sell sweatshirts and hats and stuff. Maybe that just brings in a little bit of money. But if we get multiple small streams of revenue,
it all adds up.
It all adds up, and it takes the pressure off, and then that funds us being able to do some great things. What do you think would be what would you like to see out? Like, what do you think the association could do? I mean, we all talk about, and we don't lose sight of, getting build sheet data, getting, OE part number, like that's stuff that we all, getting the repair procedures properly with proper language to include recycled part. We're never going to stop working on that. But outside of that, is there something you think that the association could do or develop or produce that would be game changing?
Recognition.
What do you mean?
Recognition that we all know what we do and what we sell, and our role in fixing automobiles, and our role in being stewards of the environment. But there's so many people out there who don't.
Yeah.
It's the awareness. And even my friends, they don't know. We do, because we're on the inside. It's recognition from other entities and other people saying, hey, those guys are good.
Yeah.
The junkyards, they're not polluters. Where else would you rather have the cars go?
Sure.
We just can't leave them abandoned.
I don't think anybody thinks about that. I think they drive down the road, and so in my world, in my vocabulary, there are junkyards, but the junkyards are the ones we want to set ourselves apart from. We want to promote and develop. I'll take every junkyard that you give me, as long as they want to improve to become a professional automotive recycler, right? And so what the problem is, they drive down the road, they see the junkyard, and
it's an eyesore.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they
then
see it as an eyesore, and they see that they just aren't aware.
And they want to get rid of it, but then their brain stops. They don't think, well, okay, if we got rid of it, where do those cars go?
Where's it going?
They're still going in the earth.
Well, I don't want to equate us to a sewer treatment plant facility, but there has to be a sewer treatment facility.
There has to be an end of life process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is really end of life. You know, the poop place.
You're right. You're
Yes.
right. But what you're talking about, so when you talk about, awareness, I mean, that is a passion for me. Like, I'll never stop talking about that. Like, I see the one of the core functions of what I do and what the association does. It should be, obviously, it's always going to be advocacy, but telling people what we do. And I tell Emil, I tell, the staff, whatever committee you're staffing, Emil, whatever bill you're working on, the work is great, but we're leaving so much on the table if we don't tell people. We have to tell people about everything we do.
Absolutely.
And just be the voice. That's my goal. I want ARA to be the voice of the automotive recycling association.
It always has been.
Industry.
It's been the voice of the industry for 3
years, and I want us to be. I want our voice to carry outside of our industry, and that's what you're talking about.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
People within our industry know what we do.
Yeah.
It's people, and I mean, it's not everybody. I mean, I get people come in and they love junkyards, and they'd only buy used cars and fix their car.
I think I'm going to bleep you.
Yeah. You might have to.
I'll let the, you said shit. You said, I'm going to let that go.
Okay.
But every time you say
junk, beep. Beep yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think that I think we can do a better job with what used to be called ISRI, which is what REMA. Yeah. I really think we need to reach out to them to see if we can get a certification, end of life scrap vehicle processing certification, so that they'll be more confident with the scrap and the cars that we feed into them.
This is kind of the idea we were chatting about in Florida, the strategic planning meeting, like a certified load.
Yes. Yeah.
A certified crush load, like flat.
Yes.
Certified load of flats that going, so that they recognize this as a thing.
Absolutely.
And they have,
Yeah.
That would be good. That was a good idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we can get more money for our scrap, and we won't get loads rejected, which people are finding loads being rejected because there's a badge on the flattened or cubed car that says Prius or hybrid. And they are scared. There's so many fires out there. They are scared that their facility is gonna blow up.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, man, anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, we could talk about a lot of stuff, but that might get me in trouble. You know me. I always. Sometimes I'm the devil's advocate.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. And I'll throw stuff out just to get a reaction, sort of like playing poker. Sometimes you got to set somebody up. You got to lose some hands. Playing pool, you got to be 2-3 footsteps ahead. Yeah. I mean, I've been playing poker with the same group of guys for 25 years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I love playing poker. I would love to. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I used to play it. So one of my oldest brothers, I only have one oldest brother. So my oldest brother, he played a lot of poker and played for years, and then so we used to get together and we would play. And I remember I never took it too seriously because it's just my brothers. We're playing like nickel, dime, quarter stuff, but we'd spend 3-4 hours and have fun, right?
Yes, it is. It's a fun time.
And I remember when I figured out that it's as much about reading people as it is about the cards in your hand. And boy, did that change my perspective. And it's so fun. I love it. For that reason, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I still play with the same group for 25 years. They still don't know when I'm bluffing or when I have a bad hand or good hand.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And sometimes I'll lose a hand on purpose.
Absolutely.
Just to keep them, on the edge, whether I'm bluffing or not.
Yeah. No, that's the part I love is the psychology of it.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, thank you so much. I really appreciate you making time this morning, sit in this beautiful library. It's very cold in here.
It is.
It's very cold in here, but thanks again. I appreciate it.
Okay. Excellent, Vince.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
No problem.